What is Black Canary's favorite game?
I don't know.
Hide and go shriek. Welcome to the greatest DC Comics show on YouTube. It's Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday night right here. If you're watching on the Rewind, appreciate you as well. We'll talk about our live chat, folks that are joining us in a moment. So happy that you're here. Tonight, not one, two special guests. One host so far, hopefully two, and two special guests. So both returning, starting out with JP Budget Collecting. How are you?
I am good, Ryan. How are you, man?
I'm good. It's great to have you back. The last time you were on, we did a Nightwing themed retro review to tie in with his 100th issue that was just about to come out. So that's awesome to have you back here. And then he was with us last week. He's back with us today. John's Comics with Friends. How are you?
I'm doing well. And JP is still talking about that issue of Nightwing. Just last night he was talking about it.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Maybe we talk about Nightwing. Twist her.
Yeah, that 100th issue was good.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I can do that a little. I know a little bit about that. So it's great to have you guys here. And I want to start out by congratulating John's Comics with Friends on 2 nominations for the Comic Book Community Awards. You and Justin No Good Comics have a nomination for Best Omnibus Show. And you have a nomination for the Hall of Fame. So Hall of Famer right there, a nominee.
Hall of Famer right there.
It really just helped solidify my age in this community.
You're 5 plus.
So yeah, it's 7 years in a couple months here.
Nice. Right. And I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but nominee here for the Hall of Shame. I made it finally.
I was really rooting for you.
Thanks.
I will welcome you to the club gladly.
So I don't mean this in a bad way. I want to preface this by starting, because you know it's going to be good if I'm prefacing it by starting out by saying I don't mean this in a bad way. But I don't mean this in a bad way. But so Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe, who we have on the show pretty frequently, she was nominated. She didn't become a finalist, but she wants to be a finalist so bad. So she said in any category, she doesn't care. She just wants to get a nomination. So next year, I am going to nominate her for Best Beard. And I'm going to try to get as much support as I can to see if she could win Best Beard in the comic book community. I mean, she doesn't have one of... Shabab, if you're watching, you know I love you, and this is just to get you an award because you said it didn't matter in what category. So...
Oh, okay.
That's my goal.
I like it.
That's my goal. I would love to be nominated, but my main goal is to get her in there.
Get her in. And like Flint.
So, yes.
Okay.
If there was a category, best co-host of Fanboys every week, this guy's got it. It's Signature King Tony. How are you?
Look at that. I got the crown.
Good.
Yes.
Good. I got everything all set up, and then StreamYard decided they were like, 8:13. Why not just forget all of your settings? You have to do everything all over.
Yeah, that's fun. It's okay. We've been holding down the fort without you.
I believe it. With the company we picked, it would probably be pretty easy.
Well, it's great to have you joining us too, and we got the full house going right now. And I want to say hi to some folks in the live chat that are joining us, starting out like most times. White Tiger, cool, calm, collected. So Muabunga to you. It's great to have you here. Joe has checked in as well, Anachronic Comics. So awesome. Joe, I'm hoping to collaborate with you sometime later this year on something, or maybe more than one thing. So we'll see. John's Comics with Friends doing double duty also in the chat. A guy that's going to be joining you and for D&D pretty soon. A new addition to your D&D, which you normally do on Sunday nights, is Big O. But this week he's here with me, so that's awesome to be here. Sleepy Reader 666, aka Sad Vision. Look at that vision. Look how sad that vision is.
Very sad.
Yeah. And hey, she could be somebody's beard. Let's get her nominated next year, guys. Let's do it.
I like it.
So
I like it.
yeah. So thank you guys all for checking in here. It's awesome. So Signature King, I was saying that I'm going to get Shabab nominated for Best Beard next year.
I heard. I'm excited.
I am too. I hope she is. So,
I'm sure.
but right now we'll kind of take a look at some of the big news that's going on. I'll start out with maybe a little side note that kind of hit the world of entertainment today. Terrence Stamp, the actor, passed away at age 87, and in the comic book world, best known as General Zod.
Mew.
Yeah. He was General Zod in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, Superman and Superman 2. So I heard this fantastic interview he did one time where they were asking him, you know, like, do you get recognized as General Zod on the street? And he talked about this one experience he had. I believe it was in New York City. He said he was walking and he saw someone else walking, and he said he could tell that he knew who he was. And he said he had never done what he was about to do to anyone ever before. And he said he could just tell that this is a Superman fan and he knows who I am. So when they got up to each other, Terrence Stamp looked at him and said, "Kneel before Zod, you bastard." And they said, "What did the guy do?" And he said he went, "Ah."
I didn't know John lived in New York.
It was a good moment. It was a good moment.
Yeah. So wouldn't that be quite the experience to tell someone that
gosh.
you had with
Right.
Terrence Stamp? So yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, Carlito Classico is here.
No.
Yeah, how you doing? Was he in Smallville? That's a great question. I will take a look. I'll look before the show's over with, because I'll tell you what, when we get to the book show, I'm going to circle back around to Terrence
I'll
Stamp.
take a look for you.
Okay, great.
I think he cameoed in an episode.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, anything
He had a lot of
Superman
cameos
associated
over the
did,
years, so
yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he did.
But for sure, when it comes to Terrence Stamp, stay to the book show at the end, because I'm going to circle back around to him.
He is listed as a guest star on Smallville.
Okay, he was
I'll
on
have to
Smallville.
find out who it was.
Okay, cool. So that's kind of the most recent news of stuff that has come through. I thought we'd talk about a few facsimiles that have been announced as well. DC is high into the facsimile game. And Batman Comics 47 is going to get a facsimile in November. And what's special about this is the first time that they expanded really on Batman's origin and start going in on Joe Chill and who he was. So we'll have the regular cover, a foil, and a blank sketch cover available on November 19th. Thoughts about that? Look at that Batmobile just flying away there. Yeah.
That looks great. Great cover.
Yeah. And then another book that I was excited to see that's been scheduled for the month of November. If you like purple covers, this is one that will check a box for you. Justice League of America, number 21. Do you guys know the significance of this book?
Isn't that the
Yes.
first Black Canary in the Justice League?
Silver Age.
Silver Age.
Yes. Yeah, first Silver Age. This is the first JLA JSA team up.
Gotcha.
And it was a two-parter, and it has not been announced yet, but they're hoping that maybe issue 22 would come out as a facsimile in December. So we'll find out if that happens. But this is coming out as a facsimile on November 12th.
I like how everyone's holding hands.
It was a seance. They had a seance. So that's pretty cool. Look at Adam's little hand there holding on to Batman. That's funny. And then too, as though we've talked about before, the big Batman Deadpool team up that's coming. There is a variety of variant covers that are coming. And I thought
it's an understatement.
Yes. I thought I'd scroll through some of these, starting first of all with this is going to be the main A cover. And I'll just kind of scroll through these a little bit. If you guys have anything you want to say about any of them, just feel free to interject. If you see one that you think you're going to buy, give me a holler too. So, And that's kind of cool. We got a wraparound. There. Oh, do we have any Nightwing fans? What about that, JP?
I mean,
No?
it's tempting.
It's tempting. Okay.
It's tempting.
Oh, do we have any Harley fans? Yep.
No, we
This is
don't.
funny.
Keep scrolling.
There's wieners flying all over the place on that cover. How about Constantine? That's an interesting pairing.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now, come on, guys. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Does Joker stand a chance in that?
I don't think so.
I mean,
But he don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't
That's
think
why
he
he's
cares.
crazy, because he'd go for it.
Right.
I mean, I guess he might stand chances because even Doom couldn't figure out his logic of what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
Who that cover looks familiar? Who
But
does
no,
who
It
did
looks
that
like
one?
Lee Bermejo to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's
Lee
who it is.
Bermejo.
It does look like Bermejo.
It
So
is.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, some magic going on in fishnets.
Is that Mark Brooks? I think that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Looks like it. Maybe.
Yep. Buying.
Last one doesn't want that one.
They missed an opportunity here to do Wonder Woman and Wonder Man.
No.
Yeah, especially since Wonder Man has his own
not
show
deserve to be on
coming.
the screen with it.
Wonder Man? There you go.
Yeah, I've already done
Oh.
Punisher and Red Hood.
There you go. There's
Jenny
some
Look at
Frizen,
that.
yeah.
And it's Jenny Frizen. That I know
Frizen
3 of
and
us on this
Wonder Woman.
panel right here that this checks boxes for.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Well, I know why you're frustrated, John, but go ahead and say why. Because
I get the sense. I get the sense that this is not going to in any way be a part of what, like, all of these covers don't seem to be significant to the story on the inside.
No,
it's
it's
like
the
that,
Batman
it's
Deadpool
that,
story.
it's that Ari Granoff white Scarlet Witch Vision cover. That's like
Yeah.
the cover is amazing, but it's on some stupid Spider-Man book.
Mhm.
It's like, I'm frustrated because why not just give us a bunch of these one shots? Like I would buy that book.
Yeah.
I'd buy
First
this
you-
book.
First you charge the card.
That's a pretty cool cover. I like it.
Yeah.
No.
That one's not my favorite.
Who is this? Jay Lee though?
Yeah.
There's Jay Lee.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Rogue and Barda.
Mm-hmm.
They should have done that. We just did a Jungle Girl. Who was it?
Yeah, we just did Rima.
Rima. Yeah, they should have put Rima in there.
That's
I
gonna
think-
sell. That one's gonna sell like crazy.
that
What I would have
Jim
done
Lee?
if I was in charge of some sort of DC marketing is I would have had an opportunity here to, on these covers, to make my similar characters do some kind of battle, like Doctor Fate, Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. You know, Namor, Aquaman. You know what I mean? That would.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Yeah. Not Harley Quinn and the Hulk. Like, who cares about that?
Yeah.
So
Now, see, this
I
should
enjoy this cover.
this should have been Supergirl and Ms. Marvel though, because it should have been the Danvers sisters going at each other.
See, that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, no offense, she's already on multiple covers.
Yeah, I
We
feel
could
like
have had an
they've
opportunity
done
here.
Batman with multiple people. They've done Wonder Woman with multiple people.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't. DC didn't vary their characters very much.
No. Lobo and
This is a good
Deadpool.
pairing.
Okay, that would have been really
Mhm.
funny. Yeah. But I agree. They should have give us these little one shots. You know what I mean? That
Right.
would have been so cool.
I don't know that they've fully explained what the comic is going to be like on the inside. And I know that there's like an overarching Batman Deadpool story where they're trying to fix the rift between the two universes, and that it's possible there'll be several little anthology mini stories all the way through, and maybe we'll get some of that stuff. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what context we're gonna get. Fun concept, but I think we're missing a couple opportunities here.
Got an homage cover.
Yeah. They get to redo this cover again. I've already seen this a couple times. This
Yeah, because
cover.
no one's ever done this cover.
Yeah.
Or this cover.
So stupid. But I like it. That's why.
He's laughing, I think.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
laughing.
Emma Frost and Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Black Cat and Catwoman would be?
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
like,
Black
why
Cat
is it
would have been
Felicia?
better.
See what I mean? Like they should have done like the same. It would have been really fun.
And then you get a blank sketch
Buying
as
it.
well.
Buying. No, I'm just kidding.
Getting this one.
No, I don't care about the blanks.
So
I
those
I
are-
already pre-ordered one, whichever one the foil was. There's actually more covers than that than what.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
there is.
there are, yeah.
Yeah, there's one where the homage cover of the Wolverine and the Hulk is actually Batman holding his batarangs, and you see Deadpool in the reflection.
Okay.
And they showed the Deadpool one with the Batman reflection. But yeah, there's I think total they said there are close to 80 different covers,
Wow.
which is really stupid, but whatever.
Yeah.
I love variants, but there's even a variant guy, gotta say that's too much. That's too much.
That's too much.
Especially when some of them are so exclusive. Like there's no way.
Yeah, because we're
Yeah.
not even talking about the store exclusives, and you know that those are gonna fly.
or the
So,
ratios.
Yep.
Yeah,
JP has joined us in the chat too.
there's a 1 in 500 I saw. That's going to be impossible to get. But I pre-ordered. I think it was the F cover, which consequently is the foil cover. I forget which one it is. I think it's possible we already looked at it, but I don't remember which one.
Mr. Gretzky 9966, Matt is here. How you doing, Matt?
Good.
Look for a feature AOK from him on my channel. Not this upcoming week, but next week.
Nice.
Yes, and there's some signed stuff. Hint, hint, Signature King.
Is mine in the mail, Mr. Gretzky? Mine must be coming.
Signature King, do you have any news that you want to share? Anything else that I haven't covered?
No, it's been pretty quiet because I know, we're Superman is already kind of done. It did better than expected.
It is available to purchase on digital now, and then the physical copies of the movie come out next month. I think it's on the 19th, I believe. Superman, you can get it.
I think I'm going to pick up the physical copy. Start picking up maybe some of the collector's edition because now I got more space. I mean, why not?
Mm-hmm.
But I did watch Superman again, and I found one more gripe that I don't really care for.
Go for it.
Overall, great movie. The way I feel like Hawk Girl. Okay, I feel like they overuse the Hawk cry just for, and I don't recall Hawk Girl doing that a lot. Any iteration of Hawk Girl. And
there was some on Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, but I mean, she didn't use it all the time. Yeah, she had a cry, but it was just more like a loud scream. This is more like it sounds like a hawk.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I said, it's a great movie. It did really well.
September 23rd is the release date. I double checked, so that's when you can actually buy the physical copies of the movie. So, and
I do have one small bit of news I did forget.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see who is hitting the convention circuit? 2 people are hitting the convention circuit.
Is it budget collecting and comics with friends?
A good guess, but no.
Okay. Who is it?
Superman and Lois Lane, David Cornsweet and
Rachel Brosnahan.
Rachel Brosnahan.
Nice.
Yeah. They are hitting the convention circuit. Their first appearance will be next year at C2E2.
C2E2? That's the one close to me.
That's what might be making.
You know that line is going to be 8.5 miles long, and tickets are probably you have to chop your arm off at the door.
$500 to get within 10 feet of them.
Yeah.
Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
But if they came close to me, I would honestly consider going.
You were at C2E2 this year.
Yeah, it sounds like they might be doing big one. New York, San Diego, Chicago. That's all they really announced so far.
Nice.
It might just probably be one-day appearances, or all 3 or whatever.
Very cool.
Still fun.
Yeah.
Still fun. I like
cool.
it when they do that.
Yeah. Nice.
But that's it for news.
Okay.
we already talked about a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Signature King, if you don't mind pulling up the assists, we'll start with issue 1. But also, I'm going to make you do double duty because speaking of C2E2, and since we're doing Birds of Prey tonight, you met someone from the Birds of Prey TV show at C2E2 this year.
I did. Dana Meyer.
So tell us about that experience.
She was very kind. I really enjoyed talking with her. See if I have. Actually, I do have her signature. Very handy. Well, let's see. She is right here in pink on my Starship Trooper comic book, right here in pink.
Nice.
It was funny because I get up there and I gave her the book, and she's like, what color would you like? And I said, you know what? Artist choice. You pick. And she's like, oh, I'm going to go with the pink for sure. And I was like, love it. So she did with the pink, and we were talking about, her time. We talked about Birds of Prey, and she obviously was upset that it didn't last as long as it did, but she really enjoyed her time on Birds of Prey. And fun story, she was called back by CW to make a cameo appearance in the big CW Arrowverse Infinite Crisis or whatever. She filmed the scene and it was cut.
Oh, wow. That's too bad.
And she didn't find out until after it aired. Nobody said anything.
Wow.
So she's like, where's my scenes?
Yeah.
And she made some phone calls like, oh yeah, they cut all that.
you tell everyone that you're going to be on the episode, and all your friends watch and
cut it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
And that's exactly what she did. She told all her friends and family to watch it. Cut.
I did. I stood near her. I didn't speak to her because if you remember Signature King, I walked up to see what photos she had available to sign. I wanted to see if she had a Birds of Prey photo, and she did have one of her as Batgirl.
She did
available.
Very
yeah,
cool.
so
you could get it signed, but
yeah,
it's a good time.
That's
I like
pretty
talking
cool.
to her. A lot of fun.
Yeah. So our special guest picked our retro review tonight. I think it was a little more JP than it was Friends. But why did you come up with Birds of Prey tonight?
We had already done. I had done Nightwing before, and John had done. I forget what you said you had done before.
Titans.
Titans, and we were like, "Well, what else could we do that we hadn't done, or whatever?" And we were both like, "Birds of Prey," and he was like, "Well, what issues?" And so, yeah, I maybe helped him come up with the issues, but
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a great choice.
Oh,
so tonight
look at that.
we're gonna. Let's make him big. Let's put you
Oh
back
yeah,
big
show
for a
that. I
second.
want to see that.
So,
That's
yeah.
cool.
So my
9
original
days.
copy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is this a key by chance? Is this like?
I mean, it's their first ongoing. Is really the only key here.
Okay.
So yeah, the actual first appearance and stuff, there might be later that might be involved.
So tonight we're going to do the first 3 issues, and then we're going to jump to issue 8. But you're going to get an early taste of Birds of Prey, and we're talking like a 1998 right now for our retro review tonight. And John's Comics with Friends will kick us off with issue number 1.
Yes, sir. This is my first time reading any of this, so I was kind of excited to get some of this action here. And yeah, very fun 90s looking cover here with our little battle going on the front. And I think that's supposed to be Oracle, but I'm not sure who's supposed to be on the other side of her. I don't know that they ever really explained the other half of her face.
That's like her computer. That was like the image that people see
the
when they
digital
click on her computer.
icon or whatever.
Her digital
Yeah,
icon.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're both Oracle. Very confusing though. If you didn't know that,
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know, that
even
would-
having read it, I'm still like, I was expecting a villain maybe of some kind, but okay. When we jump into the issue, we start off with a nightmare. Clearly, Dinah is in distress. This is traumatizing. She is, freaking out, only to be proven that it's Oracle trying to get her to learn how to use a computer. She's not happy about that. I don't do technology. I kick butt. I wear fishnets. You really can't ask this of me. You're really demanding. And you can tell this is a new relationship for the two of them. We've got Barbara in the wheelchair and trying to still be useful in the DC universe as a superhero. So she has set up this sort of situation between the two of them. And you can see on the next page, they're going back and forth with the technology, how to communicate, the idea that there's cameras and microphones and all of these things that she's using to monitor Dinah. And then Dinah's like, wait a second, you can see me? This is creepy. Like, I'm feeling a little bit of a stalker thing going on here. Not sure how I feel about having to learn how to use all this stuff. And just the general vibe between the two of them. It's playful, but it's both of them sort of finding a new role, perhaps, in their dynamic. And then we jump to a creepy wooded area and somebody climbing out, looking scared. And as they are wearing, they look like they're in the tropics somewhere. Their clothes are all shredded. And they go by the names of Brendan and Daria. I don't know who these people are. They don't really kind of tell you. But somebody's sneaking up behind them. And the reveal is that it is Hellhound. This has a great outfit. I don't know. I don't know who this character is. Never heard of Hellhound before. But he has basically been hunting them and says that he's going to be nice. He's not going to punish them for trying to escape. But then he sicks dogs on them. So, I mean, I kind of feel like that was not really accurate, because the next panel shows that the dogs basically eat them. And, that doesn't go well for them. And that's really all we get of that storyline. It's clearly set up for maybe as the story goes along, right? But for now, just keep that planted seed in your mind. The bottom of this page is back to Dinah and Barbara, and Dinah's covered her computer screen so that the camera cannot be showing her, and she pulls this off to reveal a mask and to try to freak Barbara out. So she's having a little fun with the technology, having a good laugh with all of this stuff. But really, she wants to get to their job. They have a task, a job in mind, specifically a small island called Relasia. And Barbara's telling her a little bit about this island and how it has changed hands. And, it seems to be a sinner's paradise. And if we go to the next page, we can see a helicopter landing on a private helipad, and a strange looking gentleman who is being labeled by Barbara as a bottom feeder, in the sense that this island only seems to attract the absolute worst of the worst. And he's coming off the helicopter with his typically 90s sunglasses, and he's greeted by Ryan's favorite character, the Pajama Man. Jackie Pajamas, also known as Jackie Pamerjanian. There you go. This gentleman, the blonde gentleman, is going by the name Reed Montel. And he is basically showing up here to seal a deal with Mr. Pajama Man. But obviously, Jackie, he wants to take him out on the town, show him all the craziness that this town can offer, and says, no, it's on me tonight. Anything you want. And so setting up this unusual relationship. But behind Jackie, you can see there's a boat in the bay. And that is where Dinah is. She is gaining some visual line of sight on this island, hearing some details from Barbara about this plan. And Barbara's talking a little bit about how, law enforcement agencies, they don't communicate really well. So what I do is I hack their systems, and I take all the information, and then I force them to communicate. And I go through and I filter that information, and then we can pick our missions where we're needed to go. I think this place needs our attention, and that's why we're going here. I want you to scout it out. We're not killing anybody, but we're going to go in and kind of get some information. And so they're going back and forth, talking a little bit about this. And Dinah is sort of thinking about, on the next page, she's thinking about, well, I'm a really good piece of bait. Like I'm happy to be bait for any bad guys, and then, kill them when they make problems for me. But Barbara is still showing a little trepidation about this new role and not quite sure how this is going to work out. So then on the next page, we get her basically giving the mission of like, look, we want to get in. We want to mount a video disruptor in your costume that allows you to kind of do all kinds of cool things. You've got this new gear that I've made for you. It's going to help you break in there. But meanwhile, Barbara also seems to have an email boyfriend, somebody that she's emailing on the side. And you get to kind of see this back and forth hot online romance that she's got going. It seems to be an unusual setup that is going to clearly pay dividends later on. But the idea that she is connected to a whole digital landscape, not only law enforcement like we saw earlier, but clearly other people. And you get to see this weird sequence where she gets in the bath and she's messaging. The next page, she's messaging back and forth talking with this person and not really getting too personal, but this feels like there could be some danger here, maybe for one or both of them, right? She's more comfortable face to face, but it does not sound like they're gonna meet anytime soon. We jump to the Pentagon, and in the Pentagon, clearly some of our law enforcement agencies are aware that they're being hacked. But if they tell the world that we've been hacked, it does undermine their power a little bit. So this gentleman, who I don't know that we get names for these characters. I don't know that we get names for these characters. These two soldiers are discussing a strategy for potentially trying to catch this hacker all on their own and be regarded as heroes rather than failures if they admit that they've been hacked and that their system is vulnerable. So on the next page, we get to kind of see them like come up with this master plan. Wow. Dinah has got her new gear on, no fishnets, wah wah, but cool goggles, and she is scaling the side of the cliff, working her way up to the base. And then we get to see her doing what Dinah does. She's taking out guards. She's sneaking in. She's just being an overall boss. As she works her way inside, she's still able to communicate with Barbara this whole time. So when Barbara tells her, there's a safe in a certain part of the house, I'm able to kind of register some of these things. She's able to adjust the camera that Dinah is using so that she can see infrared or she can see, X-ray. She can basically use all these different tools to kind of examine where they're going. So Dinah just has to sneak through. And when she gets to the safe, she is able to help Dinah crack the safe using some of the same, code breaking technology. So on the next page, you get to see her find the safe in the wall, and Barbara's the one that hacks it. And Dinah feels like, well, kind of cool that you can do it from afar, but it'd be cool if I could do this stuff too. On the inside, they have all sorts of oddities, suits and cameras and sunglasses and watches and jars of body parts is what it looks like, fingers and ears and stuff, kind of creepy stuff. So it definitely feels like maybe we need to get out of here. So that's when Dinah decides, and Barbara decides, let's get back to safety again. This is starting to really look crazy, but I'm recording everything. We can save it all for later. Dinah sneaks back outside just in time to see that same helicopter coming back. And now we've got other people landing on the island. Redheaded, underage looking young lady, and some gentleman who looks like he could have been off Saved by the Bell with that outfit. His name apparently is Jack Baird. And on the next page, you get to hear Barbara basically telling her, oh, he's a private investigator. I know this guy. I haven't seen him in a long time. It's been a little while now. Oh, did you guys know? How well did you know each other? And that's kind of how the issue ends, as two of these guys stumble upon Dinah on the balcony.
Okay, good. Good kickoff to the first issue. So I'll pick up issue number 2.
Perfect. Coming right up.
So there's our main cover right there with Oracle. Definitely in a bit of a panic mode on the cover. So we'll see what brings her into that state as we get through the story. So seconds after where issue 1 leaves, on the next page, we get a full page splash showing us that Dinah is being attacked. And Oracle, Barbara, is trying to contact her. She wants to know what's going on. And she says, hey, I'm a little bit busy right now. You can flip the page and you see the fight leads Dinah to fall with some of the guys that attacked her all the way down from a balcony to the main event where Jackie Pajamas is, and Jason Bard, or should I say with air quotes, Jason Bard, is there. It's really Jason Bard, but that's not who Jackie Pajamas knows him as. So
right.
She crashes and she realizes she's got weapons drawn on her immediately. So in the process of landing, Barbara can't see what's going on now, but she can still hear what's going on. She doesn't have a picture signal, but she's still receiving the audio. And Jackie Pajamas instantly starts smacking Dinah around. And Barbara says, hey, I've got a cover story for you to give to them. Just say this, and Jackie Pajamas is saying, ooh, this is a tough little girl. Who does she think who is she spying for, Reed? And he's like, she's just a thief. He's like, I don't think so, but we'll have some fun finding out. And Reed's like, well, it's your party. So on the next page, when Barbara knows that Dinah's alone, she wants to know if she's okay. And she says, well, nothing's broken. She says, okay, this is your cover story that will buy you a little bit of time. You work for Trans Global Insurance, and I have a whole identity worked out for them. Drop locations and dummy phone lines, the whole deal. And she's like, what, am I supposed to be here selling Jackie Pajamas a policy? And she's like, no, you work recovery, stolen property, and that treasure room you found was full of expensive jewelry. So you got a lead on Jackie Pajamas, you are following it. And then she says, you say this guy Pajamas was calling Reed. And she's like, yeah, his name is Jason Bard, but I haven't seen him in years. How well do you know him? And she's thought, well, I thought I knew him. And she's like, I hear right that you two were engaged. And she's like, well, it's been a long time. She's like, let's get back to business. They're going to take your earrings and your necklace. You have to remove the transmitter cell and swallow them. And she's like, well, that's going to be a problem. Why? The next page tells us why. Because she says, trust me, it just is. You see that she's bound. And she's like, gotta go. Company's walking in. So, and it's Jason Bard, who, we know as Reed. He walks in and he says, well, Jackie doesn't mind sharing some of his privileges with his guests. And she's like, you're making a huge mistake. And she starts in on her cover story about working for Trans Global. They know where I'm at. They will turn over heaven and earth to find me. She's like, huh? He's like, huh? The insurance op, they have deep pockets, huh? And she's like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, well, Mr. Pajamas will be glad to hear that. He collects pretty valuable, precious things and sells them back to their owners. One piece at a time, as it says on the next page. So the goods in the treasure room, the body parts, they're part of the kidnappers. And she's like, Trans Global will pay, but not for damaged goods. And he's like, well, we don't plan on damaging you, precious, not in any way that shows. Now loosen up and let me have a sample. And Oracle is going bonkers at this point. And he leans in and you believe that he's about to assault her. And he says, relax, you'll live longer that way. And she's getting ready to curse him when on the next page he whispers in her ear, I'm going to help you get out of here. And that brings instant relief to Barbara, who heard that. He's saying, just do what I say, there's not much time. He's like, you free your ankles and the guard is mine. So he takes off with his cane, knocks the guard unconscious. Dinah's free now. And she's asking, what is the plan? And he's like, Pajamas is busy with his chippies. We got to get to the chopper and gone. And he's like, is your story true? And she's just like, stick with it for, Barbara's like, stick with it for now, Dinah. And she's like, is your story true? He's like, I'm working for a private party to find a family member gone missing. All roads have led to Jackie Pajamas. And he's like, who does he think you are? And he says, Reed Montel, a bag boy and enforcer from the Triad. And the real Montel is doing hard time in Kenya. So he kind of stole this guy's identity to pose as him. I was preparing to hit the road when you came along looking all needy. And he's like, my name is, and she's like, Jason Bard. He's like, oh, how did you know? And she's like, that's my little secret. And Oracle's saying, keep it that way. I'm still not sure about him as we go on to the next page. And as they go on, he realizes that he's with the Black Canary. So right outside where the chopper is, there's some guards there. And they're figuring out who's going to take them out. And she says, hold tight, I've got both of these. And he's like, I could get one of them. And she's like, I got both of them. So on the next page, the fight continues. The thugs go out pretty fast. And they're heading for the chopper when all of a sudden bullets start flying, being fired by Jackie Pajamas and his goons. He's wondering why they're leaving so soon without a farewell. I thought you were too eager to speak to the woman first, Reed, if that is your name. He says, are you two working together? And he's like, hey, she doesn't know what this is about. Just let her go. And he's like, what, as a favor to you? I think it would be best to eliminate her here and now. And he stands in her way and he's like, no. And he fires, and he doesn't hit him directly, but, you know, he gets a side shot in that causes some pain and takes him down. And he's like, oh, a test of how loyal you are to one another. You pass with high points, sir. And he's like, take them to the compound and silence the woman. So she gets knocked, Dinah gets knocked unconscious. And Oracle is wondering if he's dead, but he lives. And the woman is alive. Her valuables are being ordered to be taken. We'll see if the masters will pay for her life. And Oracle feels horrible. She's like, Dinah, I'm so sorry, so sorry. And she starts to break down. And next page, you have mail. AOL member Barbara Gordon has gotten a contact from her little online friend whose name is Beeb. At least that's the nickname, Beeb, Beeb. And so he or she or whoever it is a little bit flirtatious and wondering why she isn't replying. And she's just like, I have a lot going on. I got a friend in trouble, real trouble. And Beeb is asking a little bit like, how dangerous is this? You know, actual dangerous trouble. And then Beeb wants to know if she's a cop or something. And she says, not officially. And did your friend understand the danger? And she's like, does that make any kind of difference? And Beeb is like, sure, you share the danger, but she's in physical danger. I'm not. But you care about her. Yes, you're partners. Well, I guess that we are. Then you share the risks. How? She risks physical danger and your heart is endangered by sending her there. And Barbara wonders or says, do you actually know what you're talking about? And Beeb says, yes. I've suffered for decisions I've made, for friends I placed in harm's way. And then Beeb apologizes for going so deep and kind of signs off because Barbara says that she's busy. She goes back to see if she can get back in touch with Dinah and just make a sound something. But Dinah's not hearing any of this because all her equipment has been stripped off and it's in another room that she's not even in. When Dinah finally comes to, it's a whole bunch of light that's kind of blinding her. And she wants to know where she is. And another woman who's sharing, several women are sharing this living quarters with her. Hell on earth is the reply. And she says, seriously? And she's like, I am serious. And she's like, is this the compound? And the woman replies, it is where we are held, where we pay dearly for another day of our life. She introduces herself as Dinah Lance. The girl she's talking to is Carlita Blanchard. And she says, what happened to your finger? She says, I told you we paid dearly. And then all of a sudden a goon walks in, grabs Dinah, and says, the master wants to see you. The rest of you go on to eat. So the little social experiment there, Jackie Pajamas is filling her in on, is I used to be in the drug trade. It's a competitive, risky business. Now I run a plantation and has very exclusive slave force to work it. You have to be very rich to work here. And she's like a spa, she says sarcastically. And he's like, no, my slaves don't want to be here. I sell their lives back to them a day at a time. If their families pay, they live. If they don't, well, she's like, oh, you're a kidnapper. And he's like, kidnappers only get one payment, then they turn over or kill their victims. I keep mine alive and their loved ones keep paying continuously. I videotape things, little proof of their existence, or if they need extra incentives to make a payment, a body part or two. How much does your employer love you? And she's like, Transglobal will pay you. You send them my earrings. And he's like, I hope for your sake that they do. So she's been told she missed breakfast and she's got to go to work anyway as she's thrown to the ground on the next page, at the bottom of the next page. And then following that, Jackie Pajamas is informed. What's this guy's name? The Mad Dog?
Hellhound.
Hellhound. Okay, Hellhound is like, that's Dinah Lance, the Black Canary. And he's like, you know her? And he's like, her reputation is how I know her. She's a master of several disciplines. And he's like, did I detect a thrill in your tone, Hellhound? And he's like, she's not one of your spoiled, fatted cows. He wants to know if he thinks that she can escape. And he says, I know so, and I pray so. And you can see him smiling. And meanwhile, on the field, you did not visit the surgeon. And Dinah's like, is that a good thing? And they're like, yeah, the surgeon's the one who does the amputation. So yeah, you don't want to face that. So Dinah realizes for a second, Carlita Blanchard of Blanchard Fragrances. And she's like, yes, that's who I am. You know, my father's very wealthy and famous and all around here. And she starts introducing people who are related to film producers and publishers. But a guy says, you got to shut up and you got to get to work. And she's thinking, come on, Oracle, send the Marines, send the JLAs, send the Shriners, just get me out of here. And then all of a sudden, it's time for a call for water on the next page. And she's like, she sees a guy that she knows, Dinah does. And she's like, don't speak to him. It's too risky. And she says, Jason, it's me. And he says, get away from me, Dinah, far away. She said, no, we can still make this work. And she's like, you coming along? It's better with two of us. He's like, I'd only hold you up. You mean with the bum leg? You're tougher than that. And he turns around to say, it's not that tough. I'm blind. And that's how issue 2 ends. Yes. Get to the chopper.
Yeah, very interesting, which makes my issue make way more sense. So I'll pop that.
That's
up
what you
here.
say every week.
It's true because you're right. I do say that often, but it's true. But look at that cover. Look at that
I
cover.
was going to say that cover. This is how JP convinced me to read Birds of Prey. He's like,
yeah.
John,
So this is.
Tell us the attraction of this book.
Yeah. So I got to point out in the first issue when Dana Lance is on the boat, did you see the Dixon, hidden Dixon in there?
I did not,
No.
but I know who that is. I know what that is, though.
Yeah, it's the writer. It's Chuck Dixon.
Yeah.
Diana Lance is on the boat. She's sunbathing, whatever. She's got a stack of books. One of them just says Dixon across the
As
spine.
the author.
It's pretty funny. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, here we have this issue called Hounded, and the Mr. Hellhound here. I notice every issue so far that we've seen him, he's had a costume change. In the first issue, he didn't have the teeth in front of his face; they weren't as pronounced. And the second issue, like you could clearly see them. And this issue, like I don't even know how he could talk because they seem like in his lips. And the ears are slightly sagging versus they were up top before. But, whatever. I noticed stupid little things like that. So, yeah, we have Hellhound introducing himself to Black Canary. He's hinting kind of at who she is, but that's their first introduction. He's kind of like teasing her to like, go ahead and run. Like, let's get this party started. But not who Black Canary is. She's grown attached to Jason here, and she's not going to escape without him. So they're coming up with a plan to get out. We cut to Oracle, and Robin is helping going over maps and satellite images, from Wayne Tech's own satellites to find out where she is. And she is praying that Dinah Lance is going to give her some kind of signal, but they're just not finding anything. And then we have our famous "You've Got Mail," and which I thought was pretty funny, maybe nostalgic for a second. And she's checking it, and it's a ransom. It's a ransom, and she says, of course, it's like a lot of money for back then. It's like $1 million. It's like, where are we going to? Robin's like, you can't go to Bruce about this. Like, he's not going to. It's like, oh, but I know who is. So she hacks this company, this corporation, and I forget the name of it. Well, anyway, this poor intern's got to confront this giant CFO that, hey, we're missing like $1.7 million. That's a problem. So he obviously goes nuts and says, either let's replace the money before I replace you. Cut to Dana Lance, and then, saying, waking up Jason, like, we are getting out of here. Follow me right now. So they're taking out the guards, but Hellhound is watching. Like, it's almost like he knew what's going to happen, but he didn't stop them. He waited until the next morning, until some sort of roll call was taken where they noticed that these two were missing. And, Mr. Pajama Guy is here freaking out. And he says, Hellhound, go find them. We cut to them in the jungle, and Diana Lance is going, according to Jason, you're full Girl Scout, and she's like collecting dew in a coffee mug, like practically living comfortably.
I mean, she looks very comfortable.
I would say, but maybe not in the jungle. This would be like a nightmare scenario for me. I would have started crying a lot. I got to leave the air conditioner and the Wi-Fi. Like, I'm staying.
Right.
I don't know. So she's helping him stay hydrated and whatnot. So they're able to keep going. And mid conversation, they hear dogs running up behind them. So they beat feet to the edge of the cliff. And she's, saying, "Hey, can you swim?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to swim. I'm blind. I can't see anything." So she ties a vine to their waist and go ahead and jumps for him. Maybe it's good that he's blind because, if it was me, that would not be good. Robin, took a little cat nap and he woke up and, he's like, "Hey, or no, not what he woke up. He's getting tired. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. He's saying, "Hey, I'm going to crash. I'm going to get some pizza and I'm out of here. I'm going to sleep on your couch." And Oracle's not about that life. She is waiting until she gets some kind of signal from Dana Lance. She is ever so vigilant about it. They live. Black Canary and Jason live. They finally made it to shore. And I got to say, they made Jason absolutely shredded.
It's the 90s.
It's the 90s. Everyone's got like 12-pack abs for some reason. But yeah, they're continuing on their move here. And finally, they're starting to see signs of movement on the satellites, which I got to say, like, they're doing this a weird way. It is, I guess, before the internet. So their satellite in space is taking images over this area. It's got to be every couple minutes, and then like they're printing them out and going over them with a magnifying glass. Like, that's got to be tedious. That's crazy. But yeah, Oracle thinks she may have found them, but Robin pointed out that hey, look, just to the south, there's some people hot on their tail, and sure enough, as Black Canary and them are looking over a cliff, they start taking gunfire from the guards down below. But Dana is able to seemingly leap over 100 feet off the cliff and start taking out guards.
She's on it, man.
Incredible. She's on top of it, taking out guards left and right. And this has got to be the dumbest thing ever. So they give the guy who says he's blind the gun. That made sense to me. But yeah, so they're able to press on, and they finally run into Hellhound, which for a blind guy, he's able to scare off the dogs pretty good. Just, I guess, fire in the direction from what sound they came from. So he's able to scare off the dogs while Black Canary and Hellhound seemingly have a good fight. But Black Canary gets knocked down a little bit. She's able to take one of his sais, just like stab Hellhound like right into the foot, which obviously is going to hurt a little bit. So he's down for the count. Meanwhile, some people roll in, armed people roll in, and as it turns out, it's help. It is help. Oracle had found them and had sent a armed militia to rescue them. And Dana is telling Oracle to go ahead and send those armed people back to the compound. There are plenty of people who need rescue. And that is the end of issue 3.
Okay. So as to what happens there, that's for another Fanboys. Maybe we'll bring these guys back and keep picking up on the story in the future. That would be a possibility. We're not going to go too far ahead. No. So we're going to go from issue 3 up till issue 8. And I'm so glad that I have JP doing this issue because, I mean, first of all, look at that cover.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
wonderful cover.
That's pretty amazing. So take it away, Budget Collecting.
Okay, so yeah, we're skipping ahead to issue 8, which is less focused on the birds and more focused on Nightwing and Babs. So yeah, great Greg Land cover that's really well known, and you can go in from here. And we see basically that Dinah is out on another mission and is trying to contact Barbara, get some information, and basically she's got Barbara's not at the phone right now. Can I take a message? And Nightwing is in the monitoring the computers and the communication lines, and Dinah's like, well, who is this? And he's not telling her. And she's like, well, what's your relationship with Barbara, and he's like, well, that's a good question. And then you see him think to himself, basically, well, I'm not sure after our last encounter or our last evening together. So, and we get a little flashback from there to their last night out. And basically we see him swinging across Bloodhaven trying to get to something because he is meeting Barbara so we get these, must-have Nightwing parkour panels and pages of him leaping through, off of bridges and signs and everything else, doing his acrobatic thing as he's trying to get to his, you can keep going here, trying to get changed and get to his non-date on time and meet Barbara. And so he gets to the restaurant and he's like, oh, sorry I'm late. She's like, well, I was early. And then she immediately accuses him, this is not a date, right? And he's like, no, it's just two friends getting away for a minute, like, because we need to unwind a little bit. She's like, well, where are you taking me? And then you see the next panel, she appears to be all afraid, but it's really that they've went to the circus. And we see that they went to Haley's Circus in Bloodhaven, and there's some clowns and a fake bomb and, confetti blowing up all over the place and everything else, and enjoying the circus. And we see, like, they talk about the fact that Dick said the last time that it was, I forget what he says here, but it was not confetti. They used to use something other than confetti, and then someone tried to, it was like pasta noodles or something, and someone tried to sue them, so now they use confetti. And their little fake bomb or whatever. And so Barbara seems to be having a good time, but on the next page, she kind of yanks his chain about oh, well, other than it was a clown or whatever, because this is, of course, not too long post Killing Joke and the Joker and everything else. And he's like, oh, stupid. And she's like, you're an easy target. And because she's just messing with him. And then we get, the circus continues on, and we get the tigers, and they're just having a good time at the circus. You can keep going. And then you see them wandering outside at all the little games and stuff, wandering through the circus, and just kind of enjoying each other's company and having a relaxing evening as they go through. And you see on the next page, they run into Mr. Haley. And we find out that at this stage, because of being Bruce Wayne's ward, that Dick actually owns the circus at this point. And he's actually owns it, but Mr. Haley still runs it, and he is the financier behind the circus. So of course he's like, hey, you guys are welcome to do anything you want, because this is your show and everything's on me and that kind of stuff. So and there's a conversation about, they've had a little bit of trouble because one of the elephants had diarrhea, basically. It's like, okay, that was necessary information. But yeah, just Mr. Haley talking about the nature of running the circus here. And keep going. And so Dick has a little bit of flashback to the trauma, and Barbara's like, does it bother you to come back here? And he's like, no, I'm past that, and I moved past that trauma, and it's just, now I just remember the good things about being here, and don't let that affect my view of the circus anymore. And then the next, we get Barbara talking about her trauma, and that, that she's tried to move past it, but she still has this anger toward the Joker, and that, she didn't want closure. She wanted revenge, and she still kind of feels that way sometimes. And it's still struggling a little bit with being in a wheelchair and not being Batgirl anymore. So you can keep going here. He's like, well, what do you, and he's like, well, what do you miss? And she's like, well, did you not hear me? Like, I moved on. I'm doing good things. I don't really miss anything. And he's like, no, but like, if you could do one thing. And she's like, that moment when you like have the jump line and you're about to leave the building and you're just kind of flying for a second. She's like, I miss that feeling of, swinging between buildings and stuff. And he's like, well, if you go to the next page, he's like, I can arrange that. She's like, what are you talking about? No, you can't. He's like, no, trust me. I bet you're strong. Your upper body strength's even stronger than it was before. We can make this happen. And she's like, don't mess with me. And he's like, no, seriously, we should do this. And so you see on the next page that he gets her up on the up on the high wire, and he's swinging her, and they're swinging back and forth together, and she's like, oh, this is amazing, and he's kind of supporting her as they go, which is where you get the cover from. And if you keep going, he like swings, and he actually like leaves her still swinging, and leaves her up there, and he like bails out on her, and she pisses her off because she's like, what the heck are you doing leaving me up here by myself, because I can't like use my legs. And he's like, no, trust me, we're gonna you can definitely still fly, just don't panic, you're fine. And if you keep going here, he climbs back up on the other side, and he's like, we're gonna do a transfer, you're gonna swing to me, and you're gonna let go, and I'll catch you. And she's like, no, I can't. She doesn't believe she can still do that. And he's like, yes, you can. And they kind of argue back and forth for a minute, and he finally convinces her to give it a try. As you go through here, and we swing to the next page, and you see her actually do it, and they're swinging to get ready to do this, and she's super nervous about doing it, but he's got her convinced, and he's like, I won't drop you, I'll catch you, you can do this. And you keep going to the next, and you see them actually like, yeah, she actually lets go, and he catches her, and they enjoy this kind of fun moment, back high flying like they used to a certain degree, like when she was still Batgirl, which leads to them actually like having a moment and having a kiss on the thing, but still at the end, like, so they have this moment but as they're leaving, she is still reluctant, if you keep going, to make it into a relationship. She's like, no, it can't be that. She's not ready for that, which you clearly see is what he wants. So they leave it there at the circus, still debating on what they're both knowing they have feelings for each other, but her being unwilling to move forward with them. And it goes to the end of this story, which is back to on the last page, I think. Dinah talking the conversation with them, and Dinah's like signs off. She's like, oh, and we'll see you, Nightwing, because she knows exactly who it is. Anyway, based on his voice, even though he wouldn't tell her. And Barbara comes back in. She's like, did I miss anything? He's like, nope, wrong number. And so that is the end of this particular book.
Nice.
Nice.
I've always wondered about that story, so I'm glad that you picked that one tonight, because I was familiar with the cover. Do they ever reference, like in the future, as their relationship progressed? Has that story ever been referenced back? Because to me, that seems like such a key moment in their feelings.
I mean, I won't say never. I mean, through this run, they obviously because they do eventually through this run of Birds of Prey and Nightwing that were going on at the time, they do eventually get together. So they reference it a little bit, but I don't know that they've referenced it any time in recent memory.
Okay.
So.
All right. So panel thoughts about the Birds of Prey that we read tonight, starting with JP.
I love this run. I collected it when I was collecting at the time. So I had a bunch of these issues, the early part of this run. I enjoy the characters, obviously. Big fan of Barbara, and I enjoy Black Canary during this run. Obviously, as it goes along, they start adding other female characters to the team as it kind of builds, and some are there for a little bit, just kind of the nature. Characters come in and out, but it's always Oracle and Black Canary, and yeah, I enjoy this run. So
that's cool. Great. John, your thoughts?
I mean, it made me want to not only read more, but then snag some key Black Canary comics. It was a lot of fun. Definitely gave me all the good 90s vibes as well, which I think was nice. I don't read a lot of 90s books anymore, so it was kind of fun to dive into those.
Awesome. Signature King.
Yeah, I would agree. This is a very interesting Black Canary read for me. I don't read a whole lot of Black Canary, but I know some of the more recent runs of Black Canary have been really well, but I would say these classic 90s artists and stories, it aged pretty well. Not necessarily the technology in them. You got mail. I mean, obviously that didn't last, but I'd never seen that in a comic book before. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, these are two of my favorite characters, so of course I enjoyed it. Surprisingly, I'd never read it until tonight. So, and I'm kind of like in the same boat with John. Like, if I lived a little closer to him, I would wait till he got done reading his and then like come over to his house that day and sit in his hammock if he has one. And if he doesn't, ask him to order one. And so I can sit in it and then read his copies because it's good. Comics with Bueller is here. How are you?
Hey.
Great to see you popping in. That's awesome. Thank you. Before we go on to the book show, Mr. Signature King, didn't you say you had a bonus for us?
I do, but I'm going to do it during my book show.
So you want to do it during your book show?
I'm going to combine them, yeah.
You're going to combine them. Okay, That's good to know. So we'll start doing the book show portion, talk about our channels, and show something off related to our collection. And we'll go with John's Comics with Friends first.
Sure. I wanted, once I know that we were doing some 90s stuff, I was like, I got a perfectly 90s book to share for tonight. I got this at Comics Curing Cancer, I believe, last year. This is some Bolin Goodness here. Look at this.
Yeah.
So this is 1993 Jim Ballant. And yeah, just look at that. Gorgeous classic cover.
We did a retro review of that within the last year.
Oh, did you? Okay,
yeah,
good.
We did, yeah.
It just made me think a little bit about what we were reading tonight. So I pulled that one out to share that one. Bane appearance, embossed cover, Joe Duffy story.
Nice. Anything else you want to share or talk about your channel too?
I was gonna say I got a couple videos coming this week, but last night JP was on my channel and Charlie was in charge, and they were discussing Nightwing, the Tom Taylor Bruno Redondo run that's kind of decorated right here behind me. So if you want some information, because they just dropped an omnibus recently of the first half of that run, you can watch Charlie talk comic books. She ran the show, and they had a great conversation around that run just from a couple years back. It was a whole lot of fun to see her kind of take charge a little bit there. I also got my Marvel Unlimited subscription box in the mail this week. So I unboxed that. That video drops next week. And I did a little video on the cosplayers I saw at San Diego. So those videos are coming up in the next week.
Awesome. Great. And for those that don't know, if you're not subscribed to JP Budget Collecting or John's Comics with Friends, there's links in the description for this video as well for you to do so. I don't know why you wouldn't be. One of them is nominated as like a living legend. So just saying. JP Budget Collecting, what's going on with your channel? What's up with that? And do you have any goodies to share with us?
On the channel, just kind of the usual stuff. I put out, my look back video on Saturdays, and Marcus and I are going to hang out on Monday night, do our Cash or Trash. I've been doing, trying to do like another weekly pre-record. This week will be a Let's Collect. It will not be Jocasta, Ryan. You don't even have to. I'm sorry.
Man, how about Ambush Bug?
It's actually going to be Mr. Terrific, was a request
cool.
from my members. So we're going to do a Mr. Terrific Let's Collect.
Terrific.
It's coming this week. And so that's most of everything I got going on. Obviously, we're going to start Dungeons and Dragons back on John's channel here in a couple weeks. And
do you have your character set?
Sorta. I got to start. I haven't finalized yet, but I got to start. I kind of know where I'm going. As for my share, so tonight we talked about the Birds of Prey, like the original ongoing series. Before that, they had 4 one-shots and a 4-issue mini that had come out in the years and stuff before. So I have the first one-shot that came out, the first Birds of Prey. I got that a couple years back. Super affordable book to get this first team up of them. I have 2 of the other one-shots. I don't have any of the 4-issue miniseries, but I do have my original trade from like the 90s that collects the issue I just showed. It collects the second one-shot and the 4-issue miniseries, which I don't have in any other form other than this. But I do have this little trade that came out that was an early Birds of Prey trade. And then the 3rd and 4th one-shots.
Great cover.
Are the others that I do have those.
And
then I had one other thing show. Obviously, I have a 9/8 of my issue number 8.
Yeah.
But a couple years ago, Mr. J. Hood, creative that we all know from this community, a fantastic artist, did this homage to that cover for me.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's so freaking great.
It's easily my best sketch cover that I own that he did. It's just an amazing cover. So
I'm jealous.
I love that so much that I was a new YouTuber around the time that you got that and were sharing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who has that exclusive? I want to order that. I like it.
I mean, it
that
does
much.
look like it could be
It
a.
looks so real.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking
And
of devil, there he
he's
is.
there.
In
Yeah.
the chat.
Look, there he
That was right.
is.
It was Jada Comics, but yeah.
There he is.
Yeah. Lurking, I love it. Yes.
Mr. Hood, I will be talking to you about really scheduling a date. I know we've been soft talking about getting you back on the show, but
amazing, just an amazing sketch cover. Just
That is.
so.
wow. Yeah, I love that. He sent me a sketch cover too of Linda as Wonder Woman and blew my mind.
That's incredible.
It's working while lurking. I love that. That's awesome. We're going to continue on with our book show and talking about our channels. In the meantime, I'm going to say that you can participate at home by sharing a cover with us on Instagram. Use the hashtag Fanboys Live and the Retro Review, and share something about the Birds of Prey or DC Comics with us. Just use that hashtag because we'd love to see it. So since Signature King has something extra with his book show, we're going to save him to last. And I'll go forward and I'll talk about what's currently on my channel that you can find, as well as what's coming up. So currently on the channel, there is a back issue of the week short on Red Sonja, because this past week, her brand new movie was in theaters for a night. And it's coming to streaming very soon. I don't know anyone who saw it, so I don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was a thing.
I didn't even know they were doing the one day thing until after they'd done it.
Yeah. So we featured Sonja with a 1983 comic book with a pretty amazing cover as the back issue of the week. And then I had my comic book editions video that's currently on my channel is episode 250. Oh, Legion of Comics saw it. We'll have to ask him about it. So that makes sense. So my comic book editions 250, an anniversary video, had an AOK from Cal L Comics, who's a new YouTuber, as well as Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe. So you can check out some of the things that they were so kind to AOK my way. That's what's currently on my channel. What's coming up on the channel? My back issue of the week YouTube short. Yeah, Jeff probably saw it too. I'll have to ask him too. My back issue of the week YouTube short that's dropping tomorrow. It's going to have go-go checks at the top, so that means it's going to be a Silver Age DC book. So you DC fans will want to check that out. And that's tomorrow morning. Tuesday's comic book editions video 251. It's just been raining AOKs at my house, and John's Comics with Friends sent me something, including something that was an SDCC exclusive. So, John, I bet you can't wait to see what you sent me. And Tuesday afternoon, you can find out.
I'll have to try to remember.
Yeah. So that video is dropping on Tuesday, and then in the future, Mr. Gretzky 9966 sent an AOK that will be the following weeks. So lots of generous community members showing some love my way. So thank you guys so much. As for a book show, I've got 3 things I want to show tonight. Since we did Birds of Prey, this is from almost 2 years ago, if you can believe it or not. 2 years ago in November, issue 3 of the current series. Oh, yeah. I love this cover, but I want this as a spot foil. They don't make it as a spot foil, but imagine what that would look like if it was a spot foil.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So I thought that would be fun to show. And also from this current run of Birds of Prey, I wanted to share this since we were talking a lot of Black Canary tonight.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I think I have that one.
Yeah, so look at all these great costumes that Black Canary has worn throughout the years.
That one in the top center.
I was just thinking that too.
Xanadu.
Yep. So I wanted to share that Nicola Scott cover as well. And then to circle back around to what we were talking about at the very beginning of the show. And if you're on my Instagram, you've seen this already, but maybe you're not on my Instagram. This is my autograph from Terrence Stamp.
Oh, wow.
So Kneel Before I just love it.
What's the story behind that? Like, how'd you get it?
there isn't much of a story because I didn't obtain it in person, so I don't
gotcha.
have much of a story behind it. But it's on a Zod photo, which is what I wanted. So
Very
I
cool.
have 2 of the 3 super villains. You know, I'm missing Non. So I've got Zod and Ursa. I got to get Non. And he does conventions and stuff. I just got to get around to get that taken care of and getting a signed photo as well.
Cool.
But
That's
I
really
wanted
cool.
to share that with Terrence passing away at the age of 87 earlier today. So, and that's it for my book show. Oh, one more thing too. I'm really zeroing in on 1K. Like I can almost see it.
You're very close.
I'm less than 50 subscribers away. So
Get that over there.
we're almost getting, you know, by the end of the year is my goal. We're getting close to starting to ask friends and family to subscribe up now,
Yeah,
you know, to finally get this done.
there.
Yeah.
So close.
So, thank you to everyone who's been showing support. I imagine if you're on this channel, you've subscribed already. If for some reason you haven't, that would be cool if you would. So thank you. And finally, with a book show and talking about their channel, the Royal the Foils Signature King.
Yes. So in terms of coming up my channel, lots of shorts. As always, they seem to be what the algorithm wants. So whatever the algorithm demands, I'll keep doing it. Like I said, I have one short that's still climbing to 500,000. I don't know how that happened. So that's good news.
That's awesome. Way to go.
No skill involved. It's literally fat, dumb luck. Because if I knew what I was doing, I would continuously do it again. And, you know, I'd have 10 million subs by the end of the week, and it's just not going to happen. But yeah, lots of shorts coming up, still doing some room stuff here. It's coming along quite nicely. Very proud of the progress. Going to make some more progress this week. But in terms of a special book show, I have a helper here who's going to talk to me about Black Canary stuff. Here, come on.
Oh, nice.
Hi.
Yeah. So, what's your name?
Laurel.
You just get the book here. What's the first one? Just the first one. Yep, the first one. What's that one? Show them. What's that called?
Ooh.
Natural Birds of Prey.
And who signed it? Remember what his name is? Yannick Paquette.
Yannick Paquette.
Here, show. Make sure they can see
Yeah.
it. Look at that.
Paquette.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. What's the next? Oh, that's a good one. Show them the cover. Yeah, there we go. Who signed that one? Remember, it's the same guy. You know how to say it?
Paquette.
Yannick Paquette. Do you like
Great
Black
cover,
Canary?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, get that other book. Ooh, make sure they see it. Look at that.
Ooh, there's some foil.
Yeah. Nice foily cover. Yeah, you can cover Dad's face. It's okay. So why do you like the Black Canary?
Because it's my name.
Yeah, Laurel was on the CW Arrowverse. She was the Black Canary on the Arrowverse. Laurel Lance, I remember.
Nice.
So when you're outside playing with your friends, you ever scream like the Black Canary? I'm not sure. Yeah. Is it really loud? Does it like push people away? Is it so loud? Yeah, I bet it is. Do you like to scream like the Black Canary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Good
Yeah,
job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, helper.
Thanks for helping me. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Did good.
Wow. If I knew that she was sitting down there the entire show, I would have done the book show first.
All right.
That's okay. She's hiding, watching iPad or something.
Okay. Well, nice. Thank you very much, helper. And you come back on the show anytime you want.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Sit down, silly.
In his old room, we would have known.
Yeah,
It
he
would
would
have been
definitely
enough
have
room
no
for
hiding.
two.
There's no hiding
at
that
home. Yeah. Well, we've had an amazing chat tonight. If you watched on the rewind, thank you for making it all the way to the end. Super duper appreciate you. And these two guys below, it's scheduling wise, it's tough to get them on because they usually can join at the very beginning of the show, but then they have other commitments with their D&D. And that campaign, that last campaign they did lasted something like 7 or 8 years. So it was just, it only felt that way. And then, but they still put up with me. I know nothing about role playing, and I come in there and I try to stay on topic. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I actually do try to stay on topic, and they put up with it. So thank you.
We don't
guys.
stay on topic either.
I was
So
gonna
it's
say,
fine.
did we stay on topic?
Let Adam know that he's next on my hit list from the
There you
D&D
go.
group to get on this show.
Who's
So.
the bard in your group?
I think this time it's going to be me, which is
okay.
we'll see, because we're starting a new campaign. So I think I'm going to be a bard this time.
Very nice.
Cool. But if you guys ever get breaks from the D&D, which sometimes you do, and if you don't have something going on, because someone else is the reason why you had the break, doors open here for you, because you're fantastic guests and good friends, but maybe not in that order. So links are in the description. If you're not subscribed to everyone, sub up the chat as well. And we thank you for spending time on the greatest DC comic show on YouTube, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Have a great, happy, healthy, successful week, and we'll see you soon. Bye!